Hey guys, welcome back to Filter Coffee Football. Here to talk about the two Arsenal fixtures. We did actually record the Liverpool match, but the Arsenal match just came and went so quickly that we just decided, let's just cover both of them together. So before we head into that, please, as always, like, share, subscribe. You're doing really, really great, and every like helps, every comment helps. So please go ahead and show your appreciation if you do indeed, of course, appreciate what we do. Jumping right in, let's start obviously with that Liverpool result. 0 Arsenal to Liverpool. Home defeat, tough result to swallow, but an impressive performance, right? Let's quickly first talk about the Liverpool show, though. Like, that win was really important for them. Just 1 point between them and league leaders Manchester City now. Where do you see this title race going?
Difference between a good side and a great side, right? A good side, you can labor up performances. A great side will grind out results. Performances must convert to results. That was what that game was. And Liverpool have shown that they have the edge. Right now, it seems to be a very hot race to the title, and I don't want to jinx it. I'm not going to say who's going to take it, but I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah, this is in stark contrast to the Crystal Palace result, right? Because for Manchester City, of course, because Palace
Right,
were quite comfortably the second best team on the pitch, but City just could not apply the finishing touches. Whereas this one was a lot more competitive, despite the scoreline, what
right.
the scoreline might
Yes.
suggest. Yet Liverpool dug in, got their result, and came out ahead in the overall title race at this point. With the match against Man City, wow, this is on knife's edge. Plus, of course, we are recording this after the FA Cup fixture, so it's also Man City versus Liverpool
Liverpool.
in the FA Cup quarterfinals. So all to play for both these teams heading into the tail end of the season. Liverpool, of course, already claimed one trophy, but three more trophies to claim for both of these clubs. This is wow. For anybody who calls La Liga or even the Liga a farmers league, saying that only one team always wins it. The Premier League is kind of been there for the last 5-6 years now, with just City and Liverpool dominating everything. Um,
But it's still way too competitive. You can't. The Premier League outdoes every other league in competition, to be very honest, from the top 10 sides. So,
yeah, three teams. You can say three Spanish teams are also in the Champions League at this point, but neither of them are considered favorites. Whereas all three Premier League teams that have made it to the quarterfinals are
yeah.
being considered favorites to win it. So that fair argument there. I won't
Yeah.
I won't fight you on that. But yeah, Klopp must be excited, really digging in. This was a great result for them. Not a great result for us, but not a bad one. We're in
We
great
didn't take
form.
our chances. We
We
didn't
didn't
take
take
our
our chances,
chances.
yes, and that's kind of been the Arsenal syndrome, right? Despite improved performances and improved results, we still have games where we leave goals unconverted on the pitch at full time. Um,
And
so
to give away, it's like we have one mistake and we get punished for it. So that's where it hurts more, right? You would assume near post your goalkeeper would save it, but then error of judgment,
yeah,
slight error of judgment, and it goes in.
and for a goalkeeper that we've been touting so much, it's always hard to then justify something like that. But of course, it's his
Definitely.
first real error in a while. But yeah, it still hurts. And then getting that sort of a touch in the 6 yard box of Firmino's second goal, it doesn't sit well when something like that happens. Of course, Tomiyasu still unfit. Cedric did kind of get overrun on that right side of our defense today. And both goals came from that end as well. So, despite otherwise really good performances from our central defenders, again, Xhaka was great today. Partey was great today, but conceding a goal in that 6 yard box doesn't sit well. But let's forget the negative. Let's talk about the positives. This was such an improved performance, though. Arsenal were definitely in there for the taking. The only thing we lacked, I felt, was that extra gear that teams like Manchester City and Liverpool just have that we currently lack. So yeah, let's talk a little bit more about the
The number
positives of this
nine.
match.
The number nine. You don't have a goal scoring forward, and the Odegaard chance, had it been a forward, he would have just finished it. This this is that's a huge difference, right? Where you have to have someone who can finish those chances. That's where your striker comes in, who can take all of those half chances, who's definitely not going to think twice before shooting. He's more or less he's going to attack, and not just be running back or trying to get more possession. All he has to do is just get the ball, hit straight at the target. Do whatever, but just hit it.
Let's also take a moment to appreciate A, the brilliance of Emil Smith Rowe, and B, the tactical awareness of Jurgen Klopp to to know that Trent will not be able to handle him alone down that right
Gabriel
side of.
Martinelli, by the way.
Yes, what did I say?
Emil Smith Rowe.
I'm so sorry. I'm just in two different places right now. But no, yeah, thank you for correcting me. I mean, you pointed this out. He just had a field day against Trent Alexander, but always a second man on there, maybe even a third one.
Even a
Always making
third,
sure that he
yes.
wasn't able to get that final ball in, despite making some really incisive runs down that channel. Um, but that's the thing, right? That's that next level. That's like that extra level of insight where how do you play the best attacking right back in your team, but still make sure that you don't lose out on the defensive end. And I mean, in all honesty, that's the difference between a Klopp and an Arteta, which we.
And Martinelli should have finished that chance too. Like he tried the Henry finish, but it didn't dip in. Just like how Henry does it. It did not turn in. Otherwise, this could have been game on, definitely. I mean, if that chance had gone in, it's still getting a goal, getting your hopes up, and the crowd was behind the club for the longest time. But after the second goal, we were deflated.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, which it's a good contrast for with the second match that we're going to talk about, the Aston
Yep.
Villa game, where Liverpool, we looked like we were still in the game as long as it was just the one goal difference. The moment the second goal went in, we kind of just knew that we are not going to score two goals against
Right.
this Liverpool defense, and that's a lot to do with the reputation that this defense has built up. Whereas, let's jump into the Villa game and quickly touch upon this part where the last 20 minutes, frankly, were seemed like just
Nervy.
Arsenal, yeah, holding the
Nervy,
fort,
really.
trying to do everything that they could to not let the ball in, and
Did you see that meme? Did you see that Rob Holding meme? 5-2-3. 5-2-3. He's as soon as he got in, he's pointing fingers, and that's become meme material already.
But yeah, obviously we're talking about Aston Villa nil, Arsenal 1. We were in control this entire match, and when
I
we talk
have to
about
ask
that,
you one thing though.
yes, please go ahead.
Before you go ahead, were you not happy with the result? Just give me a yes or no answer.
Uh, okay, yes.
Great, that's it. But Celebration Police is out in full force again with Ashley Young, ex Manchester United retirement check collector, having problems with the youngest team in the Premier League celebrating a hard fought 1-0 victory, and his ex colleague Gabriel Agbonlahor going on TV saying, "Oh, it seemed like they won the league." I mean, can't you be happy for kids winning their games, or is it too much of an ask to
Now,
be humble in defeat?
see, now I do have. I'm on with you on this because even the commentators kind of tick me off because
Yeah,
across the entire game they kept reiterating, "Oh, this doesn't look like an Arsenal that lost against Liverpool. They look so good. It was a surprising result against Liverpool." I mean, it's almost infuriating that Arsenal are being treated like these kids. Understood that they have had a rough few years in the past, but at no point do you see Manchester United being treated that way. You don't even see Tottenham Hotspur, and they've won nothing, being treated that way. I do not understand what this agenda is about Arsenal. Oh, you lost. We've basically been the second best team on form in the league at this point in this year so far, even ahead of Manchester
but
City, mind you.
who cares about data, right? Who
And
cares about statistics and information?
it's like one loss, that too with an amazing performance. is suddenly like, oh my god, how are they going to recover from this? We recovered so well from this. And for anybody who says this was a really nervy defense, this is exactly what I wanted to contrast with that Liverpool match. Is Liverpool has built a reputation of being a good defense. Arsenal were trying to make the attack and Liverpool had possession, but Liverpool had shown that they can hunker down and they can defend when they need to. I mean, again, for anybody who watched the FA Cup quarterfinal, Nottingham Forest really took Liverpool right up until the very end. It could have easily ended in Forest's favor, the way they played. Nobody's going to say, everyone's going to
Let's
say, oh yeah,
talk.
this is a good
Yeah,
performance for Liverpool. But that Arsenal defense was good. At no point was I honestly worried. It seemed like Villa had all the ball. It seemed like they were attacking the whole time towards the end. But at no point did they really have any convincing opportunities. At no point was I actually threatened. And we had Leno in goal. We didn't even have
I'll
Ramsdale.
I'll tell you a stat. We have 13 clean sheets. Liverpool and City have 15. Now tell me, is that not a good defense? Or do I have to find some other metric to define what a good defense is? Because having 13 clean sheets out of what 28 games, that's what half of those games are clean sheets. That is the sign of a good defense.
Yeah.
I really don't understand why commentators and these so-called celebration police have a problem with anything that we do.
And to the best of my knowledge, the only real save that Leno had to make was literally the last touch of the game.
Last kick.
Outside of
Yes.
that, despite all of Villa's apparent dominance, they did not really threaten the goal. This was just an Arsenal team that were like, okay, we don't want to score any more goals. We're going to sit back. We're going to defend. And this was a very confident defensive display, irrespective of what people might assume it to be, because all our clearances were assured. At no point did anybody in that defense look like they were nervous or that they had no idea what to do when the ball came to their feet. This was a very, very competent defensive display. And I just think it's a matter of time. We do this more and more, and then we will build that reputation to where when Arsenal go 1-0 up, it's hard to break them down and it's hard to
Definitely.
score a goal against them. I mean, Wolves have been credited to no end for having an incredible defense. They just shipped out 3 goals to Leeds United. So
Leeds. Of all
exactly.
teams,
So,
Leeds.
I don't know how better to convince people who would look for negatives in a really good performance, in a really robust performance. So that was just the rant. So we completely glossed over the Aston Villa portion of it. Not a whole lot to talk about Villa anyway. I mean, we kept
I
Coutinho
mean,
quiet, which is the most important
Ashley
thing.
Young. Ashley Young's career was ended by Saka, so I mean, I couldn't care less. Saka just ran rings around him. He didn't have any other choice apart from like going full blooded on him, which most of Aston Villa did. And if you've noticed, all of these teams have been targeting Saka, his legs, full blow on his legs. And Saka came out and said that maybe they deserve better protection. Again, there were people trying to tell him, "Oh, you're just a kid. You need to grow up. This is
I
the
mean,
Premier
Tyrone
League."
Mings went in with a horrible tackle early on in the match and just got nothing for it. I was like, why? And again, commentators trying to say, "Oh, that was not a bad tackle." No, he got the player's foot. It doesn't matter whether it was intentional or not. He got the player's foot. That's a yellow card offense. So again, I'm not the kind to say that there's an agenda, there's a bandwagon and stuff like that. But when you see stuff like that happen, and then pundits going along and saying that, oh no, they just need to get more experience. This is what the Premier League is about. You do not say that when it's your team. You never say that when it's your team. So
Definitely.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like a lot of this comes, and again, this is just me ranting and spouting, but I think a lot of this comes because every record has been seen, toppled, and overcome at least once by an opposition team at some point. Nobody has ever done
Yep.
the Invincibles ever, which is
True.
still a bone of contention for every top
It's
team
an
in the league.
ego. It's an ego problem for most of those
And
teams,
not to
and
rest on
all
a
of those ex pundits too. Those pundits, ex players.
but yeah, not to rest on ours. The past is the past, and that's what I feel
Yep.
that we need to really think about this team now. They are an amazing team. At this match proved more than anything else that we are definitely the best of the rest at this point. There is a whole other tier above us where City, Liverpool, to an extent Chelsea, although they have also been
Sometimes, yeah.
patchy. Uh, but they said that, but then Arsenal is clearly above almost every other team in the league at this point, and it's about time that they start getting that sort of respect, that when they go into a match, it's not that, oh, this might be a tricky fixture for Arsenal, or Arsenal have to man up or something. It's like, this is a good team. Like, other teams need to be nervous when facing Arsenal as a team. But okay, that was just the Aston Villa Arsenal discussion. Just
Reality.
never happened, but we're just gonna keep it that way, because we really need to get
Because
this.
Aston Villa didn't really warrant a discussion anyway. I mean, there were no positives. Aston Villa did not have a touch in the opposition box in the entire first half. Um, does that not speak for itself? I mean, does that not speak good of the defense? I also want to think Aston Villa just lost the plot where they got on Danny Ings about 10 minutes too late. I think Danny Ings should have started the second half. He could have offered an alternate threat. Ollie Watkins was a shadow of himself, to be very honest.
Yeah, and again, not a bad position for Villa to be in overall. They find themselves comfortable there. At this point, Gerrard is probably just trying to find the best team for him moving forward and the best
Right.
combinations for him moving forward. And this may have been a good match for him to, I guess, experiment, because, in all honesty, they probably approached this match as, yeah, this is probably 3 points lost. Um, but yeah, let's end with just applauding Emil Smith Rowe for getting a call up for the England national team. Heard
And
some
the other
rumbles.
three too.
I mean, Saka is a mainstay, so that's not even.
Saka, Ramsdale, and Ben White. Ben
Yeah.
White got a call
Oh, I
in
didn't know Ben White.
after a while.
Oh,
Yep,
wow, that's amazing.
four
I
of
did
us.
not know about White. I mean, Saka is a mainstay at this point. Saka is a starter for that national team, so it's not even. He's like a superstar. He's like one of the first names on the team sheet, so that's not even a thing. But Emil
I'll be
Smith Rowe,
selfish here.
so
I'll
happy.
be selfish here. I'll be selfish here because England aren't going to win anything in the next 100 years. So I'd rather not have. The English national team is something that I have an entire 50 minute show on, but let's keep it for a different day.
We'll talk more about it come World Cup time later this year. But yeah,
Before,
uh,
yeah,
no, I
sorry.
mean, no, I was going to wrap things up. So if you want to throw something in.
Yeah, before we wrap things up, I want to commend Ramsdale again because Arteta in his presser said that Ramsdale made the decision to travel with the team because he wanted to support Bernd Leno. That's what he said. Now that is something that you don't usually hear, and it also tells you how this side is rooting for each other, how everyone cares for the other and for their own teammates. We were talking about not having cohesion, having divisions in the side, having a rift between players, right? This does not seem like that side. This side seems to have completely transformed in the way they have self belief and they push each other to the hardest. I really loved that.
Yeah, and again, that goes to great lengths to explain why we celebrated the way we did at the end of the match. It was just so heartwarming. All the kids, all even Xhaka, everyone was just giving their jerseys away to the away supporters who came in. It was incredible. I mean, this is a very atypical thing, but if you haven't seen the post-match celebrations, it's not a whole lot. They're just kind of, I don't even know whether it's going to be available on YouTube or something, but look it up. It was really, really nice to see Arsenal really connecting with the fans, and the fans really, really happy in such a long time to see a team that really is bonded together in so many ways. But yeah, we will leave on that absolutely happy note. A disappointing result followed up by another result that reinforces our position back in the top four. 3 points clear and a match in hand. So we are definitely in the driver's seat right now. So let's keep that going. And we will see you guys again to talk about that Palace match after the international break. Take care, guys. See ya.
See ya.